This team is not built around either one of our stars. It's just Elton Brand throwing random pieces together. Bro, the guy doesn't know what he's doing. What is up, guys? DJ Eastwood here. This is Run It Back. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you're one of my subscribers, if you're not one of my subscribers, hit that subscribe button to listen to me talk Philly sports every day. And if you want to hear these videos after every Sixers and Eagles game, hit the bell next to the subscribe button for post notifications. Let's get into it. The Sixers lost to the Houston Rockets last night. Who didn't see that coming at this point in the season? Okay, this is why I'm not going to yell in this video. I'm not going to yell because I'm getting used to it. There's nothing really to yell about anymore. I've yelled about all the things that I hate about this team. There's nothing left to yell about. I'm beating a dead horse at this point. Shout out to Christina, one of my subscribers' girlfriends. She calls me the guy that's always yelling, apparently, so this is for you, Christina. Ah! Last night was a story of the fact that we don't match up with teams like the Rockets. We straight up don't match up with them. That's a fast-paced, run-and-gun, high-shooting volume team that can run you out of the building, and we are the exact opposite of that. On top of that, they have one of the greatest players of all time, who is completely 100% unguardable. James Harden's just unguardable. It's really remarkable to watch. You can't guard the guy. I don't even understand. It's just crazy. Like, so many, he doesn't look that fast, really, like, at first glance. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem like a very quick player. But his motion from his triple threat position to his first dribble is lightning fast. It's crazy. Josh Richardson's a great on-ball defender, and there was so many times that he had good position on James Harden, and my guy was just past him before he even knew what happened. If you even hesitate for a split second and give him this much room on his left side, he is gone. And he gets by his defenders so quick that the center then has to step up to help, and he just lobs it up to Clint Capella 152 times in one game for an alley-oop fest. Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, dude, the guy is unbelievable. This is why some teams started to double team him at half court. He is the first player I've ever seen that is absolutely, completely unguardable. Michael Jordan was great. Michael Jordan was a great scorer. Michael Jordan wasn't dropping 50-point triple-doubles, dude. This dude is totally, totally unguardable. And a big part of that is because of his lethal three-point shooting also, which a player like Jordan or some of those older guys didn't have because it just wasn't part of the game, really. Harden can kill you from three. He can blow by you before you even knew what happened, and he finds the open man as soon as the defense. He reads the whole floor. The game is slow to him. The game is easy to him. He's mastered the game. Seriously, he knows where everybody is on the floor. He's ahead of. He knows what's going to happen before it happens. He's mastered the game. There's nothing else to say. Until it comes to the playoffs, then for some reason he doesn't play like he did last night. Joel Embiid settled for a lot of jump shots last night, which I don't like. Is that because Clint Capella's a good defender? I think that's more of a spacing issue, and we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was electric in this game. Ben Simmons was the Ben Simmons that I saw his rookie season with that fire, that aggression, that I got something to prove mentality. That's Ben Simmons' biggest issue, is that this season he's been kind of playing a lot of games like he already made it, like he doesn't have anything to prove. That's what's so frustrating about him to me. I know what I saw in high school. I know what I saw at LSU. I know what I saw his rookie season. I know the potential this dude has. He can be a dominant superstar in this league. It's all up here. He has to want it. Now, when he gets called out by his teammates, then suddenly he has something to prove. And he comes out with a fire under his ass and is all over the place. My main complaint with Ben Simmons always is he doesn't go hard to the rim anymore. He passes the ball way too much. He passes up open lanes. He's not as aggressive as he used to be. That's always my main complaint. I'm not really even talking about a jump shot or a three-point shot. This dude had a 29-point triple-double just by being aggressive every single play. And what I always yell about with Ben Simmons when he finishes games with 9 points, 11 points, whatever, is his field goal attempts. And a lot of times he has 8 field goal attempts or 10 field goal attempts or even 12 field goal attempts. I don't like that. That's not aggressive enough for me. You understand? He had 20 shot attempts in this game. That's what you need from your star player. You need him to put up those shots. That's driving to the basket. That's getting fouled, going to the foul line. That's just making things happen. The whole team follows that. Everything else happens around that. You need your star player to put up 20 shots. You just have to. I don't care if he goes 5 for 20. Just keep going hard. Keep making the defense move. Keep making things happen. So I'm happy. I'm happy that Ben Simmons had this kind of game. I'm happy that he looks like what I know he has the potential to look like on a nightly basis. Now, I'm not going to get ahead of myself because we know what happened last time his teammates called him out and he put up 34 against the Cavs. He disappeared for 5 more games. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I feel like the next game isn't going to be like this, but I hope it is. Now, he doesn't have to have a 30-point triple-double every night, but this dude can easily average 28 and 8. Seriously, without a jump shot, without a three-point shot. He's that good. He's that quick. He's that big and strong. He's that good at reading the floor. He just has to be aggressive. That's all there is to it. And he has to go all the way to the rim. None of these right-handed floating hook shots, Euro step fadeaway, flip shots. You know what I mean? That's the stuff I can't stand either. This game, he went all the way. He had a drive in this game where he went hard on 2 defenders, finished at the rim with his left hand. I haven't even seen him do that a lot in his entire career, finish with his left hand at the rim. He complicates the game too much for himself. Just go straight to the rim. It's hard for people to stop you. So I'm very glad Ben Simmons had this game. It just sucks that he has to be called out for his lack of aggression, basically, to have a game like this. But we'll see if he does it in the coming games. Now, something that I want to talk about with this team that I've talked about a lot, and I said I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm just going to keep beating it. The horse is on the ground. I'm just stomping it. I'm just grabbing objects and beating it. It's the same thing. The spacing on this team is atrocious. Anybody who knows basketball, who's watched the game of basketball, who understands the game of basketball from a guard's position, understands how bad the spacing is on this team. Josh Richardson is nowhere to be found on this team. Josh Richardson can't even break 10 points. Josh Richardson can get nothing going on in this offense. Why? Well, I mean, first of all, he's being forced to play point guard because his point guard isn't playing point guard. So now you got 3 centers on the floor, a shooting guard being forced to play point guard. It's ass backwards. I mean, there was a play where Ben Simmons brought the ball up the floor and gave it to Josh before half court. Dude, if Ben Simmons isn't gonna be a point guard, then put a point guard on the floor. This makes no sense. Now you are literally running Josh Richardson at point guard. And he's not a point guard. He's a combo guard. He's an off-the-ball movement, catch the ball, jab step, step back, dribble drive. He's a combo guard. He's the scorer. Forcing him to run the offense from the top of the key takes away his scoring ability. Oh, it's basic basketball. Isn't it funny that Brett Brown's initials are BB and basic basketball initials are BB? Brett Brown, basic basketball, except for their two totally opposite worlds. Let's look at a screenshot from last night of the spacing, and let's talk about it. Here it is. Now, this is what our offense looks like most of the time, and it doesn't make sense. I'm going to continue to say it doesn't make sense. Here's the issue, okay? This is why this spacing hinders every single player's ability on the floor. If you see the defense right here, there's almost 4 guys in the paint, and this is a normal set. This is what we run normally. There's almost 4 guys in the paint. I'm talking defenders already in the paint. Joel Embiid has Russell Westbrook one-on-one right here. If the spacing is right, he can put Westbrook all the way under the rim if he wants to. There's no way Westbrook can stop Embiid right there. But the spacing is atrocious. Look where Ben Simmons is. He's on the block. Why is he down there on the block when Embiid has the ball one-on-one with Westbrook? Now, Simmons is looking like he's ready to catch a lob or something. Joel Embiid is not going to lob you the ball. He's not a point guard. And you don't ever want Joel Embiid dribbling or trying to pass the ball either. Ben Simmons right here needs to be out of this frame in the corner. So his defender has to get the hell out of the paint. Well, he'd still probably stay there because he's not going to guard Ben Simmons on the outside. But if he would go to the corner and start shooting a corner 3, then his defender would have to defend it. But he doesn't have to. There's already an easy double team because they won't guard him. But when he's on the block right here, Harden can just step right in here. This is an easy double team. Now, why else is the spacing bad? Who's this up here up top? This is Al Horford. This is another center that we added to this lineup because we thought playing 2 centers and a power forward at point guard was a fantastic idea. Anyway, Al Horford's up here, so now his man is almost already in the paint because he's not a three-point sniper either. How is Joel Embiid supposed to go to work on a play like this when it's an easy triple team? There's no spacing on this team. The offense is completely shut down from the jump. That's the last time I'm going to say it. You got Korkmaz out here. He's a three-point sniper. He's the only guy being face guarded at the three-point line. Look. He's the only guy. The other defenders aren't even looking at their man. That's why this offense doesn't work. Everybody needs space. Josh Richardson needs space to get in the lane and do what he does as a combo guard, right? Tobias Harris needs space to get in the lane and do what he does as a combo small forward. None of these guys have any space. Joel Embiid needs space. Ben Simmons needs space. There's no spacing on this team, and it's just not going to work. It's just not. Do I think Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid can coexist? Because I often talk about how they don't fit together because they're 2 different styles of player, and part of me still believes that. They are 2 different styles of player. Ben Simmons could run this offense the way James Harden runs his offense, fast-paced, up and down the floor, shooter to the right, shooter to the left, shooter behind you, and the floor would be spaced out. He would be able to drive past his man, make things happen. He'd be averaging triple-doubles. He'd be getting to the rim, dunking the ball. You saw a couple years ago when Embiid was injured and they won 16 games in a row and Ben Simmons averaged a 20-point triple-double. He was lights out. You know why? There was no center in the middle, and he had Marco Bellinelli, Ersan Ilyasova, Robert Covington, Dario Saric, J.J. Redick. Bro, he had like 6 3-point shooters around him. And we reverted from that? We went away from that? This is... How did somebody who is supposed to have a basketball mind put this roster together? How? I remember when we signed Al Horford, when the free agency happened, when July... I remember it. I'm sitting here waiting for us to sign a shooter. I saw J.J. Redick left like right minute one, day one. J.J. Redick was gone. Jimmy Butler was about to leave. I'm like, we got to sign Wesley Matthews. We got to sign this shooter, that shooter. We got to sign shooters. And I see on Twitter, rumor has it the Sixers are trying to sign Al Horford for $100 million. And I went, what? What? We lost our ball handling scorer. We lost our shooting, our three-point sniper. And our solution to this is to sign another center. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. This can't happen. This can't happen. This can't happen. You know why it happened? Because you took somebody who was just playing center 4 years ago and made them the GM of an entire basketball team. Elton Brand does not understand what players need to be on the floor to be successful in the NBA. It's painfully obvious at this point. There's no way somebody put this team together and that knows what they're doing. Everybody in the world can look at this roster and say, well, why the hell would you do that? That doesn't make any damn sense. Can Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons coexist? Yes. I'm still going to say yes for now. I do believe they're two different styles of player. I do believe they both, at some point, are going to need their own team around them and aren't going to work together. And you're going to have to trade one of them at some point. Possibly. But it is possible for them to work together. What it's going to require is the right players in between, a.k.a. not Al Horford, another center, probably not Tobias Harris, who's somewhat of a power forward and likes to play in the post sometimes also. This roster is going to need a big shakeup if you're going to have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid coexist. The thing that's really frustrating is you had 4 damn years to figure this out. You went backwards in 4 years. I said I'm not going to yell in this video. Ben Simmons is going to need to develop at least a corner three-point shot. And he has one. We've all seen him shoot it a million times. He's just not put in the right positions. He's on the block. It's clear that Brett Brown is telling him to go there. This is his game plan somehow. So for them to coexist, you're going to need to change a lot of personnel around them, and you're going to need to change the head coach. Enough is enough. It's just clear as day. This dude has no idea even where to put these players on the floor. Brett Brown's probably the worst chess player of all time. He has no idea where to put any piece on the board to have an advantage over the opponent or to even compete with the opponent. So Brett Brown's got to go. I'm done with it. I know there's plenty of other people on YouTube that don't want to admit that Brett Brown is horrible for this team. I'm off. I'm off the Brett Brown wagon. I'm completely off. I've seen enough. One of the big things last night was Trey Burke was running the offense from the top of the key. Oh, my God, a point guard. And he was running it successfully with Ben Simmons on the floor because Ben Simmons is not a point guard. And Brett Brown took Trey Burke out of the game and put in Raul Neto. Now, why in the world would that happen? Why would that happen? First of all, it took Brett 30 games to even play Trey Burke, which he should have been fired because of that. Because that's just asinine. That's what that is. It's the combo point guard that you signed in the offseason that was one of the biggest free agent signings, the only ball-handling shooter we have on the entire damn team. It took him 30 games to play him. Now, once Trey Burke had that 21-point game against Cleveland when he coexisted with Ben, and I said, yo, this is clearly the answer. If I see Raul Neto on the floor again for the rest of the season, I'm going to lose my... Last night, Brett Brown has everything running smoothly, and he just couldn't resist putting his good old buddy, his stepson Raul Neto, in the game. He couldn't resist it. Now's a perfect time for me to sneak 3 minutes in. Now's a perfect time for me to sneak in 3 minutes. This dude is a player's coach. He's buddy friendly with everybody. He wants to hand out participation trophies. He wants to give everybody a fair chance. This is the NBA, Brett Brown. This ain't little leagues. This ain't recreation ball. These aren't a bunch of fifth graders out here. It was the same thing with T.J. McConnell in years past. This dude would play T.J. McConnell way too much. He would get roasted on defense consistently, and he kept putting him out there because he liked him as a person. It's the Doug Peterson, Darren Sproles thing, man. Started the season running Darren Sproles, 36 years old, off of an injury, instead of running Jordan Howard, who you just traded for, because he likes him as a person. Sports don't work that way. That's all I got to say about this team. The roster construction's terrible. The spacing is horrible. We are not maximizing Ben Simmons' skill set or Joel Embiid's skill set. Hoops Reference on Twitter had a tweet last night that said, somehow the Sixers front office has constructed a team that hinders both Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons at the same time. This team is not built around either one of our stars. It's just Elton Brand throwing random pieces together. Bro, the guy doesn't know what he's doing. That's all I have to say about this, man. The Sixers spacing, roster construction, just offensive game plan, philosophy, system, everything's bad. It's not going to get any better. We're going to win some games when we shoot good from three-point range because teams are running zone and leaving us wide open all the time. When we shoot good from three-point range, we're going to win games. But when it comes down to a 7-game series, this team is actually worse than last year and the year before. We might not make it out of the first round. Something has to change right now, or this season's a waste. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is something going to happen? Is a trade going to happen? Is a firing the coach going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? I know what you think should happen. What do you think is possible to actually happen? C.J. McCollum trade would be amazing. I would love to get that Al Horford contract the hell out of here. I mean, I would just love to get rid of that. Elton Brand has to be looking at it saying, okay, I messed up. I don't know why I thought signing Al Horford to a $100 million contract was a good idea. I messed up. But he's 33 years old. You're going to have to get rid of that contract like yesterday, bro. If somebody wants a center right now, if there's a team that wants a center right now, you got to make that trade right now. If you could get C.J. McCollum for Al Horford and a couple picks, or Al Horford, Zaire Smith, something else, you got to make that trade ASAP. But knowing Philadelphia sports and the way things usually happen, he's going to wait way too long. Like how we held on to Okafor and Nerlens Noel for way too long. Remember that? All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. My name is DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back. Thank you for tuning in. As always, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. You guys have a wonderful day. Go Birds.